Welcome again to the living world of darkness. Today is a Sunday, and some of us happen to be of a religious bent. Some of us happen to be Protestant, Catholic, Catholic, whatever you want to call yourselves. Some of us don't actually practice any religion at all, some of us being atheists. We all have a different perspective, and the spectrum for spirituality is many faceted and sometimes fairly annoying, causes many, many conflicts in the world, but today, this morning, 10 p.m., no, I should say 10 a.m., excuse me, we open up to the scene at a St. Michael's. The current service is starting to heat up a little bit. The pastor having gone to the pulpit, the choirs standing behind him in the choir pit. They are currently singing a introductory hymnal, actually. And towards the back, there is a fairly well-dressed gentleman, some would say in his Sunday best. He sits in a pew. He's currently going through the hymnal in front of him. He's got a piece of paper and a little bit of the cardstock and a pencil to himself. It's those can you contact me type cards. He doesn't go ahead and fill it. He just goes ahead and writes his own little notes about it, making notes about how this place is just a bit more creepy. There are different perspectives and different alternate realities in this world of darkness, and while this may be a wonderful Sunday in one world, this is probably a hellish existence to somebody who's not very, very prepared for this, somebody who may have fought against the powers these people are currently praising, or it could be that the world has gone totally, totally, totally tits up. But for right now, actually, there seems to be an upswing in church attendance. All the pews tend to be full, actually. Whereas nearly 7 months ago, you would have sworn that nobody was here. That was a ghost church. Attendance being so low, you could barely get 10 people in here. But the pastor seems to be in his right. The pastor seems to be full of energy, full of a fire, full of a conviction that has not been seen on these grounds for a very, very long time. But we begin the scene justly with, some would call him Jack, some would call him Jericho, sitting in the back pew, piddling with his own particular business. Okay, that was pretty good. From a little further down the street, there's the click, 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 click of a bicycle with a baseball card in the back, making that good clicking, clicking sound. While the person riding is singing a little jitty. Another pleasant Valley Sunday here in Status Land. Just another pleasant Valley Sunday here inside a symbol. Oh, get to a break. Finds a post. Clicks it in. As what it looks like to be a younger gentleman with an eye patch. Groggily fixing himself back up. Seems like his joints are rather crickety at the moment. And he's wearing what seems to be a hoodie. Hoodie punched down with some NASA logo right here. Although it's not specifically a NASA logo. So, getting off the bike, trying to figure out why he's up so early on a bloody, bloody pleasant Sunday.
Daniel, for his part, is on the street, and he's looking towards the church, having this strange look on his face. Not really knowing for sure if he wants to enter or just would like to stay here and wait for a couple more minutes. Cool. Wait.
I think that the intern shall recognize the wayward demon from the other night, that brief conference call that they had. Here to look over at him.
Daniel will look over and, oh, hey, and he'll start to walk over. Morning.
Morning. At least you didn't say good. Then I would have to kill you.
What's good about mornings? Mornings are to sleep.
Well, at least someone understands that. Oh god. Never mind before you expect to tackle that of the infernal or the unlikely. God damn it. No offense, of course.
None taken. So, any idea why we're here?
And he goes into his backpack and tries to roll out his numbers again. Okay. This is a print sheet. Today, I did a little extra work on the pathology, the methodology, and really kind of screw with the algorithm when I was working the other night, trying to figure out how to do this better. And basically, Jericho.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna guess that inside the church in the back pew, Jericho's looking at his watch every so often. The sermon seems to be picking up for his part. He has a meeting to attend to outside, so he's just gonna go ahead and politely excuse himself as the congregation, now numbering at least 100, goes ahead and goes into their second verse of Amazing Grace. Goes ahead and, exits out of the chapel and proceeds to walk outside, where he called on at least Daniel. He didn't expect somebody else to be there. It's getting cold out here.
Want some tea?
That might be nice. It's like, oh, there's no way I can hold my head that doesn't hurt right now. Oh. And the beer I had in
Still hot,
Texas
so
wasn't the beer wasn't too bad, so I had a second one for dessert. The clothes in my closet, as it were kind of like, well, I found the cleanest shirt. Hurt. Oh, you can see I didn't comb my face. Damn, I washed my face. But I didn't comb my goddamn hair. I almost fell down the damn stairs. Oh.
that's bad. You shouldn't do that. You should watch where you're going. Sips tea.
I try to smoke my mind away, but I realize that I don't smoke cigarettes because they're bad for you. I tell you, on a Sunday morning sidewalk, I'm wishing that I stayed, because there's nothing in a Sunday that makes the body feel more alone. It's nothing short of dying. It has us listening to the sound of a sleepy city sidewalk any Sunday morning coming down.
Can you believe that some people actually take morning jogs?
Ooh. If they want to kill themselves, they will.
In that case, I'll wait for them.
Mm-hmm. Jericho goes ahead and rounds the corner. You see the man you're quite familiar with as Jericho in his Sunday best. Hey, can I grab a bit of that tea and that thermo?
Sure. I have another one here somewhere. 1 second. Here we go.
Thank you. Jericho's going to go ahead and take a little sip out of the sippy cup, but then he goes ahead and pats Daniel on the back and starts leading him, going, okay, guy, I got a job. I got a job that needs to be doing, and I think you're the best guy to. Turns around to the intern. And I guess you could help too. walk with me, talk with me. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. You remember those names that we got about a week ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I believe I found one of the names in here in this here graveyard. So I'm gonna go ahead and walk on in, see if I can't find the gravestone, see if we can't find some more interesting information from that site. You think you're in on that?
Sure.
Cool, wonderful, wonderful. And Jargo's gonna start leading Daniel, and as a way, of course, the intern following close behind, towards the entrance of the graveyard and see about walking the path there to see if you can't find that gravestone.
Okay. You begin to walk around, and first of all, the ones closest to the church appear quite new. And you begin to look around, and you see certain areas of the graveyard seem more neglected. The gravestones seem older, they seem more run down, more of them seem to have fallen down, there's more overgrowth in some of them. Ducks beneath some trees and kind of one of the smaller parts of the graveyard.
Let's see, let's see, let's see. Is there a hill anywhere around here?
No, I think it's quite flat.
All right, fair dues. Let's go ahead and walk towards the more derelict part of the graveyard and start checking out the dates of the graves as we pass, just to give us a little bit of a litmus test about how old these graves are.
Most of them are quite new, but you see one or two which seems like they've just been around for a while, almost as if people have just forgotten about their existence.
If you're looking for those criminals, you might want to look in the Potter's Field, or Potter's Field, or, if they weren't very good Christians, they may have just been left over and just not given a really good one.
Okay, yeah, we can definitely try that. A potter's field. Ooh.
Okay. You find your way there, and yeah, once again, even more so, you find that it's winter, a lot of the trees are completely bare. Around kind of there's a lot of kind of dead foliage on top. But it all seems rather crap. Rather run down, rather squalid. And you begin to see different names. Give me doing a check. Eventually you manage to find Mr. Crow's gravestone.
Daniel, for his part, is going to look around and see if there are any other people here in the graveyard, like any others walking around.
Sunday morning, most people at church, you see the occasional car drive by. You're not too far away from like main roads and such. But most people are in church at the moment.
Okay.
A good Christian burial. Not a great Christian burial, but a Christian burial. Actually, a really shitty Christian burial.
I'm guessing this is just more of a stone slab on the ground to mark his particular lot.
Yeah, there's a couple people's names on the same stone.
Okay, I'm gonna read those names too.
You get a couple more names.
Alright.
Warner, Daniel Craggs, Matthew Melmoth.
Interesting. I wonder how many of those names actually made it, or at least survived this far. Probably not. Okay, fair dues. He goes ahead and looks towards his demon companion and simply says, "Are you any good with summoning forth the dead?"
Sure. I'm going to try something else, though. And Daniel is going to lay the back of his hand on the stone slab, and I'm going to do a perception and alertness to try and get some, or not alertness, awareness to try and get some of the residue in motions that were placed here. or that these dead people have.
Okay.
Think about it like this. That particular ability that he's using is sort of like Spirit's Touch. That's
Yeah.
the closest analog I've got.
Or it's sort of like Auspex, but looking at
Yeah.
Spirit's Touch Auspex. How? That's a good number of successes.
Does my specialty in being insightful count here?
Yeah. I wasn't going to give you much, given that they died about 100 years ago. But
Let's
with 8 successes, you're... You get a feeling around a gravestone, don't you?
Yeah, around it, yeah.
Okay. So you're not getting a feeling of the people, but you're getting a feeling of the people that buried them. You feel relief. You feel anger. You feel hatred, venom, visceral, but you do get a strong feeling of relief. And you also get a feeling of guilt. You get quite a big feeling of guilt.
Interesting. Daniel just is gonna close his eyes and nod. Okay. That's interesting.
What did you just do then?
I sense out some of the emotions of the people that buried these guys. Hate, anger, relief, guilt, all sorts of things.
That sounds a whole lot like closure. Ugh, says the intern as he pulls from his backpack a chalk now, and he's going to start his little circle. Mathematical pride. How many? 3. Oh, he starts with 3. 3.14, and he's lost the circle.
All right, fair dues. Apparently the intern is making that figure 8 that he was talking about before the scene. Daniel seems to have done his job. Okay.
Which name do you want?
Right now we're looking for Crow, actually. Jericho goes back into his notes. Alistair? Is that no? Alistair Crow.
Alistair Crow.
Yeah, I believe that's how that's pronounced. He goes ahead and shows you the piece of paper.
It's Aleister Crowley.
No, it's not.
Is it Alistair Crow?
No. Alistair. There's an
Alistair. I'm gonna write that up because I'm gonna forget. Okay, yeah, I can try and call him if he's still around.
You can? Okay, well that makes my job a lot easier. Go ahead and try, but
I'll first let him do his thing.
where?
Austin,
Mm-hmm.
does the warding circle work? Do you need spirit to do it?
Spirit 2 is definitely something that you need to affect. Spirit's Prime 2 affects magical effects. So you're not going to be able to ward against spirits, unfortunately.
Can I ward against spells?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that then. That works for me.
Unfortunately, wait. I think that would affect most Wraith's powers, but that would also affect us.
Are you guys good with going in blind?
No, I'm not good with going in blind.
Actually, I can make it so that the ward doesn't affect you. I have the Mind Sphere, which will allow mind entropy spheres, which will allow me to selectively target.
I'm wondering if you need probably life too as well, I'm afraid. If you're choosing to have a constant effect on Jericho. Actually, no, maybe not. I don't know. It's always weird.
It's mine. Mine is what governs, magical
Oh, yeah, good
casting.
point. Yeah. Go for it.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. I'm going to go ahead and take my time and start doing all the members of Pod.
Yeah. Shan may rule differently in another scene, but yeah, for now it's fine.
The question, does this affect me as well, since demons are immune to mind effects?
Good point.
Since you are immune to a mind effects, he can't cast the spell on you because it has a mind component on it.
The thing
Yeah.
is, not going to knock out all spells. I think what it'll probably end up doing is it'll probably end up making it slightly harder in order to cast. I think
There it is.
sounds like that.
Okay. I now need to look up Lore Spirit. Do-do-do-do.
How many successes you got so far? Two. Okay, so 4 successes. Is Warding Circle's correspondence 2 or 3?
It's difficulty 5, I think. There we go. And I think with that really, really good one, then comes up to 3.1415926 535 897932846 and yada 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 yada.
So is that 977 I see on your screen?
Yep.
Okay, so that's 5 successes. How many are you putting into duration? How many are you putting into kind of distance as such?
Okay. 2 into duration, so I can get the scene,
Yep.
and 3 into effect.
Okay, so 3. But how much are you putting into kind of size?
We don't need
stuff.
we don't need a great size or anything. So like maybe just a room sized.
Okay, that'll probably be about, I'd say, 1 for a personal size. Okay, cool. It's you're only going to have a minor effect. You're just going to be making their lives just slightly harder.
It's fine
It's
with me.
not going to stop them entirely if they try to do anything.
Oh no,
But
these are the best kind of traps where they think they can still do something and they find themselves impotent.
okay.
All right. Time for Jericho to do his mumbo jumbo. Jericho's going to walk over to the grave of all of these particular names. He's going to try to focus on one of them. He crouches down low. Well, with life 3, I can hurt myself. It's o facto, right?
With pardon?
With
Yes.
life 3, I can hurt myself, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get some of this dead foliage, and actually, if there are any thorns around, I'm going to gather them as well. I'm going to place them around the headstone of this collective grade. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and, with my hand, grab one part of that ring of the thorns, and I'm going to go ahead and grab it very tightly, crunch it in my hand. I'm going to try to draw my own blood on these particular thorns, actually. And I'm going to use that as part of a focus to summon the people in this grave. And I'm going to go ahead and try to identify the particular name I want by spreading little droplets of blood over the name of Crow, and that is what I'm going to use to go ahead and try to summon this bloke.
I can do that for you as well.
Then I'll go ahead and use this to lower the gauntlet in this particular area for these particular names, while the Death Demon goes ahead and deals with that nonsense. I forgot that's why I brought him here.
Yeah, I was wondering.
I was
All
like,
right.
what?
That is a Spirit 2 effect. Do I get any decreases of difficulty?
No, not unless you're taking your time.
Oh, I'm taking my time.
Okay, then a -1 difficulty.
All right. What is 4, 5 turns on to 4, so we're at difficulty 4 for this.
Cool.
I'm gonna spend a point of coin for this.
Okay.
Okay, 1, 2, 3 to lower the gauntlet here.
Okay. It goes down. You feel it weakening.
Daniel finds this terrifying because this is breaking down the veil.
Yeah.
He's like, what? This is no good. What did you do?
Calm down, I can bring it back up after we're done here. Do your job.
There's a reason why we put that wall there.
That's the reason why I'm putting this wall up here.
Fine. As he's gonna clap his hands and just say, Alistair, and he's gonna call out to the name Alistair Crow by simply saying Alistair Crow. And with that, I'm gonna use Lore Spirit 2, summon the dead. What would the god be right now?
It's now down to 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will burn a point of willpower just to make sure.
Okay, so how does this work? You pull them, they've got no way to resist, do they?
They can roll storyteller's discretion. A particularly potent or willful spirit could try and break the demon's control with a resisted willpower roll.
Can they bring anyone else with them is the main question I need to ask, or is it only them you're pulling from wherever?
It depends on if you're doing a general summon, in which case it affects the area around you, or you do a particular summon.
Okay, and you're doing a particular summon.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, burning willpower, manipulation, plus leadership.
Okay.
That's 4 successes.
Okay. You begin to... What other demons do? I'm never entirely certain.
Basically, what Daniel does is he uses the powers that were given to him at the creation of his name to literally call out to the name of Alistair Crow to summon him here.
Cool. You naturally see spirits, don't you?
Sort of.
Okay. What you begin to hear is you hear the crack twigs. You hear the click of a revolver. All of you hear this. And just somewhere within the sunlight, reflecting through the trees, Daniel, you begin to see the shape of a man begin to take form. The other two, you see nothing.
I hear something.
And you hear the click of another revolver as the hammer's drawn back.
I
Daniel is going to turn to whatever is carrying the revolver, and he's going to use Command Spirit to simply say, "Put that down."
Okay, we'll go for the theatrics. You see a gentleman in a large, dirty large, dirty jacket. He's partially transparent, his long grey strands of hair going down to his shoulders. A large hat adorns his head. You can see wrinkles around his mouth, around his eyes. This gentleman wasn't a young man when he passed away. And you can see his crow's feet, as they're frequently referred to, The little turns on his eyes, dusted down but also extenuated, as if someone had deliberately tattooed across them. His teeth partially fallen out, some of his teeth partially fallen out of thin. He just sneers at you. You can see him resisting the urge, and he puts it down into his pocket.
Daniel's gonna smile a warm smile at that, and he's gonna turn to Jericho. He's here. At least somebody is here.
Jericho's going to go into his pocket and activate his spirit sight using his root. He's going to do that for as long as it needed in order to see the spirits around him. He's going
We'll
to
say you succeed, it's okay.
go ahead and turn around.
This man take form, and he just looks at both of you with this abject look of hatred. And spits on the floor. Well, you got me. What you want with me?
I don't know if I got you. You, Alistair Crow?
No. St. Nicholas.
Looks at you. Now, I know you're lying.
What are
Well,
you guys looking at?
seems like your brain is as sharp as your pretty mouth.
Can I go ahead and send my perceptions over to the intern over there with a simple Mind 1 rote?
I think you'll be mine too if you're using your perception on another person. Do you have mine too?
Check again, the Mage Quick Start. Mind 1 plus the appropriate sphere.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're right. Entirely correct.
So I'm sending my perceptions over to the intern over there and simply looking at this particular spirit and saying, okay. So, Mr. Crow, I hear that you've been doing a lot of business dealings of weapons trading to a lot of people over at the Citadel, actually.
And who the fuck are you?
My name is Jericho. Talk around certain circles and you'll realize that I happen to be a particularly protected name in this part of New York City.
In this part of New York City. And what? The living realm? Fuck, your name means nothing to me.
I walk around the Skin Lands and I walk around the Deathless Lands due to a little arrangement I have with the local Death Lords over here, one of which is standing right next to me.
Yeah. I see him. Don't think much of him.
I don't care if you don't think much of him. He, right there, has the power to do a many number of things to make your life just a little bit harder. But I don't want that. I don't want to make your life any more harder than I want to. All I want is to hear a few answers from your mouth. Hopefully,
I've
truthfully.
been dragged up and down hell's spit while you weren't even a twinkle in your grandfather's eye. Making my life hard. Fuck, I ain't even got a life. If you're gonna trade, trade.
Fine. You answer a few of my questions. Maybe I do a favor for you. Maybe I answer a few favors for you.
You get me some weapons.
Looks like you already got a weapon in your hand.
Get me some more weapons. If you can cross over, if you can walk around, and if your friend does allow you, you can make a drop. Weapons that work on our side of the veil.
Well, I could definitely make weapons work on your side of the belt, and I'm certainly open to that particular arrangement, but still, I gotta ask my questions first. Then we can talk about a more long-sighted, business deal.
Well, prove it first, partner.
Okay, fair
Prove it
dues.
about your little pet over there. And he glances towards the death demon.
Let's just smirk.
Actually, this is what Jericho's going to do. Jericho's going to go walk over to the headstone actually, or that crown of thorns happens to be. Yes, I'm deliberately evoking this image. I'm going to go ahead and pick it up, and I'm going to cast an enchantment on it to make it able to interact with spirits using a simple Spirit 2 effect.
Cool.
Would you like me to roll for this? Because I'm going to go ahead and take my time with this.
No, we'll say you end up doing it. It's fine.
Alright. Then I just go ahead and look over to Mr. Crow over there and
Give
simply
me a
say,
quick roll and just make sure you don't fail.
spending willpower.
Oh, in that case, fine, you succeed.
Awesome. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hold this little crown of thorns in my hand, look over to Mr. Crow, and simply say, go ahead and catch. And I go ahead and toss it in his direction.
And he puts his hand out, and he doesn't catch it, but he puts his finger around it, and he lets it spin around, and he just gets it rotating. And then he slides it up his arm. It's permanent?
Not necessarily, but I could make it so.
I'm listening.
Right. A few months ago, there was a transaction between a gunrunner and one of my lot, actually. Do you know the name the Laster Rifle?
Nope.
Fair dues. Have you ever interacted with the Alpha Omega banner that seems to be cropping around in the Deathless Lands?
Give me a perception empathy check.
Yay! I'm so participating in this. Good thing I thought of empathy.
Yeah, his eyes narrow. You see his hand go towards his gun. You see his left hand clinch. His teeth grit. You see anger there, as you mention it.
Oh, you got some strong feelings, some strong angst associated with that particular name.
Yep.
Why are you so angry then?
This one of your questions?
A series of questions.
We'll see how many questions you got until this deal's over. More questions, more guns. Knives.
Doesn't really matter to me, just as long as I understand your motives. I mean,
What
hell,
matters to me, these Alpha Omega are trying to move me off my land. Trying to move me off my turf. Walking around chanting, singing. Ain't fucking right.
you see, that's where you and I, we sort of have a common goal there, a common motivation. I can work with this. Here's the thing. This Alpha Omega banner, it's been screwing with me and my people just as much as it's been screwing with your people.
Go on.
I've had people disappear on me. I've had long-term friends look at me with complete dread. In fact, they assaulted me just the other week, trying to throw me down in a pit of despair, which you would call your own pit of despair.
It happens.
Here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get as much information about the Alpha Omega as possible. I'm actually wondering where their head is, where their namesake is, actually.
Where a namesake is. Fuck. When was the last time you were over here?
Let's see. Me, personally, that would have been about a month or two ago. But I've had friends who walk around in the Deathless Lands also telling me about this thing.
Shit. You're in for a shock next time you're down.
You're talking about the bubble, aren't you?
Oh, what bubble? Oh, that thing up and down. Came, it went, it disappeared again. Ducked inside some of the Some in the streets. Not all of them. But that was them moving forwards. They've cordoned off areas. They've negotiated their ways for safety, making sure that certain forces don't come after. Fuck. And they're securing more lands. Like it's a gold rush.
Okay, so you're telling me things that you're telling me things that I could figure out myself and probably already figured, but I need
Well, apparently you
specifics.
didn't.
I need specifics, man. I need specifics in order for me to act on this information.
Specifics. Specifics. Shit, they've been after me and mine for a while. They tried to remove a couple of us. Removed a couple of us. Fuck, we didn't think they would have much in the first place. They just took over one or two places around. You know, a bit harmless. New power kind of moving in. No one thinks much of them. But they move around a bit. They moved in St. Patrick's. Set up shop. Still none. Who cares? Things come, things go, fads. A couple of, how would one say, rival enthusiasts of mine. Competition. Went missing. Well, helped me. Less people to the north, the better. Then what do I know? These enthusiasts, these zealots, start to try to remove one or two more. Up until the point where we start to get worried.
Why
Okay.
does uh, why does this sound like a drug cartel?
Drug cartel? My good sir, I don't even regret to say that I'm an honest businessman. But I thieve from certain places, I steal from certain places, I claim certain areas as my own. And if people move in upon my territory, I claim it as my own, and I claim it as an affront to me.
Sound like a few Death Lords that I talk with regularly. Uh, okay. Run us through a particular operation. Maybe we can catch one or two of them while they're out and about. See about interrogating those jackasses.
They hunt in packs.
Oh, yeah, that's what I figured.
You want to go talk to some? Just go to the fucking church.
Packs
Not
would
all of
only
them,
be
but some just set up shop. They try to go for recruits, like a good little cult.
How big is a pack, as you say?
5, 10, growing every day. More recruits, more packs.
Jericho goes ahead and turns towards the Death Demon and the technologically minded Technomancer and simply says, crap, I think we're going to have to exercise a few different places. Turns around, looks towards Mr. Crow, the Wraith again, simply says, so, St. Peter's, that's what they're mainly held up? That's where their main base of operation is?
St. Patrick's in Manhattan. That's not whereabouts the main base is. But that's the first time a flag got raised. In the city.
Okay, yeah.
Speak up north. That's whereabouts the first people went missing.
St. Patrick's. First banner. They seem to be moving more north. Did he ever break the Bronxboro?
Coming from the north.
Coming from the north. I'll say again, does it seem like they're coming from the Bronxboro?
I don't go up there too much. Too much politics. Too many thank you, sirs, and outside my place.
It's not really any good news.
Nope.
Actually, that's a whole lot of bad news.
Looks to the death demon, simply says, "What do you think about all this nonsense then?"
This is odd. I should know. I know the layout of the deathless lands of the Bronx like the back of my hand.
And how many times do you talk to the people?
Every day.
All of them? Do you ask the right questions? Or do you just lord it over people with your summonings and your giant shoes?
My shoes are not big, my good sir. But I don't like giving people commands when it doesn't threaten my safety.
Well, you people leave us to our devices and we'll leave you to yours.
Exactly.
So therefore you know nothing. Why should you?
Because we watch and see.
Perverts.
I think the technical term is voyeur.
Sure. There's a lot of that on the interwebs.
I'm gonna have to talk with the Sarge and Books about this.
And he's gonna name an address. That's the drop.
That's the drop where you want. Is that the drop for the next shipment of the AO, or is that the drop for Jericho's own dealing?
That's the drop for the weapons.
Fine.
You crossed me on this. Well, I'm sure such a pretty mouth had a pretty mother or relative who's down below.
Go ahead and try it, fucker. I will rip you fucking apart. I will rip you fucking apart and send you down to the goddamn maze if I have to.
And he just grins at you at this.
Send him away, Daniel.
Okay. You've been much help, Mr. Crow.
And he fades back with the light. He's no longer there.
Talking to spirits is sometimes so tiresome.
Well, when they're pointing a gun at you, maybe.
I mean, you really didn't have to agree to anything he said. I could just force it out of him.
Hell, I might want to talk to him again, and you may not be around.
True. But
Good relations are a thing, and are you seriously gonna? Are you serious about that? Weapons trade?
Hell, all he was asking for is a few guns and knives, and there he set up an address. All they have to do is look up my connections with Youth Anatoy. They're willing to part with weapons when they need it. Go ahead and secure a carrier that won't ask too many questions, or hell, take the risk myself if I really want to. Don't really want to, but I can. Go ahead and drop it off. Yeah, like I said, business arrangements. They have to be made and maintained. And hell, after all this, maybe I get a good friend out of it.
You have a weird menagerie of friends, good sir.
I like it.
In any case, looks towards the Death Demon, looks towards the Technomancer. We done here?
I think so. Unless you want somebody else to talk to.
Probably should have talked to some of these other names beforehand. If you're interested, you can definitely try it, but I think they tell you about Crow and all his nooks and details, but for me and myself, I'm satisfied.
past of spirits doesn't really interest me unless they've been around since the beginning.
There aren't many spirits like that.
There are a few, though.
Fair dues, you're going to have to tell me that story some other time. Jericho, for his part, is going to start packing up his stuff, actually. And he didn't bring his murder bag, did he? Fair dues. Is that crown of thorns still there? Or did that wraith take it?
It's gone.
Awesome! That means less work for me. In any case, Jericho is going to go ahead and look towards the grave, take a cloth out of his pocket, smudge the blood off as much as possible, put it back into his pocket, looks at the rest of them and say, I guess we gotta go. Or at least I've gotta go. I gotta do some shit.
Okay.
Says the intern as he's taking a brush and sort of brushing off the numbers.
We're good little mages. We're cleaning up after ourselves.
Don't forget. You promised, okay?
Promise what?
Raise the veil. We put that wall there for a reason.
Fine. Jericho's going to go ahead and, instead of doing this elaborate thing of bloodletting and crowns of thorns, just go ahead and digs into his pocket, brings out a magical stick with the Olgmic alphabet on it. Simply says, okay, fine, I'll put it back, I'll put it back. Waves it around a few times like a jackass. Hey! Increases by 2. Don't really care about the last dot.
Fair enough. Daniel looks a lot more relieved at this. Idiots.
Shoved
Do you
it into
even
his...
know how much effort we put into making this wall?
No idea. Don't really care. Actually, I do kind of care because it's kind of a wonderful contraption you've made up. But in any case, points to the Death Demon. What are you going to do? What are you going to do right after this? Because that thing just pretty much culled you out on your nonsense about, not interacting with the wraiths.
I'm gonna go to the Bronx. I'm gonna see if I can't get Hoyt or the bookkeeper.
Fair dues. Fair dues. Until then, let's get going. Oh, by the way, if you're wondering about that particular wardrobe, I can make myself available.
But, sure, but I gotta do this first.
Sure. Jericho is going to go ahead and dig into his, whatchamacallit, pocket again, rub his root talisman again, activate his spirit sight, which has been on this entire time, and he's going to simply walk away.
Okay. Shall I do an epilogue?
After the intern? Yes.
I'm good. He's sort of brushing it off, getting on the bike, brings out the printer paper. Okay, I gotta be here for lunch date. Crap. Click.
Okay. And as the three individuals begin to head off in their own directions, wind begins to blow across the graveyards. Trash and plastic bags begin to get swept across the floor. But somewhere beneath the ground, a small tapping would be heard, were anyone listening. Thank you for watching.